So many weeks ago, we invited Chris Ello to come spend a Wednesday with us here at KUSI, and what do you know? He just keeps showing up.
I was going to say, you can't get rid of me now. Yeah.
Mr. Chris Ello joins us, keeping on Wednesday tea time. You can follow him on Twitter at Chris Ello SD. That's at Chris Ello SD. I believe the SD stands for San Diego. Chris, the big news of the week is the brewing basketball scandal that now soiled the reputation of one Rick Pitino. If you're of the opinion that Rick Pitino's reputation could still be soiled further.
Imagine Rick Pitino being involved.
That's how we know it's pretty bad if Rick Pitino gets fired.
That's true. It has to be bad if you can get a big gun like Rick Pitino out of the way. But I mean, Rick Pitino is a guy that's already slimy in my book. I mean, he got caught many years ago, adultery at a restaurant, on a
sex scandal in the dorms. I mean,
Rick Pitino's a slime ball, but
so if he
has survived all of that, but he couldn't survive the FBI probe into cheating when it comes to recruiting. But shouldn't really be surprising to anybody. Of course, recruiting is kind of a seedy business, right?
Yeah, it's been even. I think it's been more seedy in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Probably.
And of course now,
thankfully, the people upstairs don't know the kind of stuff you give me under the table just to come in here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if they saw your shoe closet. But what's not so funny is a former Aztec and player, Tony Bland, one of the 10 what I consider small fry. Now they're going to try to get these guys to flip on bigger names, which raises the possibility that the taint of the scandal reaches the Mesa. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I hope not in that regard. But in a little bit, I think the college basketball scandal already reached the Mesa. I mean, whatever Chris Webber did or whatever money he took when he was at Michigan, that tainted Steve Fisher a few years ago. So there's nobody that's free of a potential scandal when it comes to college basketball, college sports in general. My
ears go up whenever I hear an assistant coach described as a great recruiter. Man, I've been around this. It
makes you think of shiny cars and little envelopes. Yeah, that's the way it is.
The arrest, though, timed around media. Are you surprised the FBI's? Why isn't this not an NC2A thing?
Yeah, shouldn't they? Are there other things that they could be more involved in? Is that what you're saying? I think there probably are. But look, the NCAA has done some diligence on this, but not enough. And that's when the feds step in.
Obviously, it was a topic at media days. The ones that a lot of schools that were involved canceled their media day. This is Brian Dutcher on Tuesday.
I know about as much about it as you do. I hear there's a 59-page report that I haven't had a chance to read yet. And so for me to comment specifically on that would be inappropriate at this time. As far as Tony goes, Tony was a very good player here, and he was a first-time assistant coach here. He's here with us 2 years, and I thought he represented himself in the university with great integrity. And what happened in his time at USC, I can't comment on his 4+ years there. But when Tony was here, I thought he did a great job for the Aztecs.
So does it stop with Tony Bland as far as San Diego State's concerned?
As far as San Diego State's concerned, I think so. I really do.
And we should mention he's an assistant coach at USC.
He's at USC. This is he's USC's problem now. Let's be honest. Let's put it that way.
All right. Well, let's talk about happier things. Okay. The football team now 13-point favorites to beat Northern Illinois Saturday at the Q.
The Cred.
At the Cred. Oh, excuse me, at the Cred.
Yeah.
Must-win game?
We're going to sit here for the next 9 weeks, hopefully, every Wednesday and say, this is a must-win game. And this is a must-win game. And, of course, last week was a must-win game. That was a spectacular victory at Air Force. I kept trying to picture Nick Saban or Alabama trying to play in those conditions. Look, the Mountain West Conference, you got to beat not just the other team, but so many things, altitude and the rain and everything going on. That was a fantastic win. They were totally defeated until...
Well, you set up. This is Chris Ello Tuesday at Rocky Long's press conference. Take a listen.
I'm assuming you're not a huge fan of divine intervention, but you've had a couple of strange occurrences now 2 weeks in a row with the lights and the weather delay. Is there anything in your mind that's starting to think, you know what, maybe this is our season, it's our kind of thing, things are going our way, we're getting some breaks that we need to get some games turned around?
I think it was the first one against Stanford, that was a deterrent. At the moment, we had all the momentum. We were driving the ball, we had all the momentum, and the lights go out. That's a bad luck deal if you ask me. Now, it turned out okay. Well, and then last week, we benefited from a lightning strike. I mean, that was a benefit to us. I think it really helped us. So I don't know, does that mean that the next one's going to go against us again? I don't know what's going to happen this week.
All I know is that I've already been given the keys. If the Aztecs fall behind Northern Illinois, I get to go in and turn the sprinklers on. Whatever we got to do to keep the Aztecs winning.
If there's an upside to the anthem controversies that are going on, is suddenly CTE, that hysteria has died down. Projected trajectory of the anthem story, is it going to be as big a deal this Sunday as it was last Sunday?
I thought it was going to go away with Colin Kaepernick, last season. And I mean, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger now. I mean, you get the President of the United States tweeting stuff out and getting more people, and now owners are getting involved. No, I don't think this anthem thing is going away anytime soon, because I think the NFL players realize they have found a way to get their message out, which is there are racial and other problems in this country that need to be addressed. So I don't blame them for doing what they're doing. The flip side of it is I love sports to get away from this kind of stuff. And it's not tainting it necessarily, but now I can't even get away on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, I don't know if the ratings are down. I don't know if how much of it has to do with the anthem. I think it factors in. But let's get back to the CTE thing. Nick Lowry, the field goal kicker for 18 years in the NFL. He's now, I think he's an Ivy League guy, and he's involved with a big company that's come up with the MVP, the mobile virtual player. It's basically a high-tech tackling dummy that's going to make practicing safer. Take a listen.
Football's the best game in America, teaches the best lessons, but it's not going to be around in its current form if we don't just face it, just like any good, responsible leader does, and say, okay, all right, we learn what we can, and then we make good, proactive decisions.
That's
we
the key
don't
word right
react. I'm just tired of seeing reactive leadership.
This high-tech tackling dummy, new helmets, is this what's going to get traction against the growing political forces?
It's going to help. I mean, at least Nick Lowry's out there trying to get something accomplished rather than complaining about a problem. So to that, I tip my helmet to him.
Dwayne Wade makes the Cleveland Cavaliers the best over 30 basketball team in the world. But unfortunately, there's younger teams. Are the Warriors worried about the Cavs with D. Wade?
No, they're not worried about Dwayne Wade. If you watched him play last year in Chicago, I mean, his career is pretty much done and over. He's just collecting a check now. He was a great player, but he's not anymore. So I don't think him going to Cleveland changes much.
Getting back to the NFL, you wanted to talk about Marcus Cooper. We're calling it the Showboat Blues. Take it away. There's number 31 running with the ball.
All right, watch this now. This is after a blocked field goal. Marcus Cooper gets to the 1-yard line, says, "Aren't I great?" And as he's doing that, they knock the ball away and cost him a touchdown. I want you to show this on every PPR, and I want every kid and their parents to watch this and think of this the next time you're in the clear running for a touchdown. This is what's wrong with football. This is what's wrong with
sports.
Just sports in general. It's all about the showboating, not about getting the job done. I hope everybody, that flashes into your mind the next time you're running for a TD. Hold on to the ball.
The great Marcus Allen has the best line. Yeah. Act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
So
even if you haven't, act like you've been there before.
All right, we got 20 seconds, so keep this tight. President's Cup, watch or scroll?
What sport is that?
That's golf.
Oh.
Are you going to watch it?
There's your answer.
All right, so I guess that would be scroll.
Scroll.
All right, the President's Cup starts Thursday out on the East Coast. That's USA against...
I didn't even need 20 seconds for that one.